If you lived in ancient Rome, death wasn't the worst thing that could happen to you. Not only will you be killed, you will be deleted from history. That means no face, no name, no memory. This wasn't revenge. It was Roman law, and for years it succeeded. This is the story of a man who believed power meant deciding who deserved to be remembered. Rome in the early 3rd century wasn't collapsing. It was strong, vast, confident. At the heart of the empire stood two brothers, both raised to rule, Caracalla and Geta, the sons of Emperor Septimius Severus. They grew up together, trained together. They both appeared on coins, monuments, and official ceremonies. Rome didn't just want rulers, it wanted reassurance. Two brothers ruling together promised peace, balance, and even control. Because the city remembered bloodshed, civil war, countless sudden deaths, power torn apart. But this was different. Romans were assured. This was safer. But reassurance is fragile and images lie. Behind palace walls, ancient sources describe tension that never faded. Rival advisors, competing loyalties, constant suspicion. Even the imperial residence was divided. Separate entrances, separate guards, separate courts. That meant two emperors in one household, but there was no trust. When Septimius Severus died in 211 AD, he left the empire to both sons. Shared rule was now reality, but history had seen this arrangement before, and it never ended peacefully in most cases. The question wasn't if violence would come. It was how and who would survive it. Roman historians describe a court frozen by fear. Every official knew loyalty to the wrong brother could be fatal. But then suddenly, word spread of a possible reconciliation. That was big news. A private meeting, a chance to end the feud, a moment of peace. Geta agreed. Ancient accounts say he came without weapons, that their mother, Julia Domna, was present, a symbol of trust between brothers. What happened inside that chamber varies depending on the source. Roman historians often hated Caracalla. They dramatized, they exaggerated. But on one point, they all agree. Only one brother walked out. Geta was dead. How exactly it happened is debated. The Roman historian Cassius Dio, who lived close to the events, writes that soldiers loyal to Caracalla rushed in and killed Geta as he clung to their mother for protection. According to Dio, Julia Domna was splashed with her son's blood while Caracalla watched. Another historian, Herodian, gives a slightly different version. He describes a sudden attack during what was presented as a reconciliation meeting, planned violence disguised as peace. But no serious historian doubts the outcome. By the end of 201 AD, Caracalla stood alone as emperor. For most rulers, that would have been enough, right? I mean, eliminate the rival, secure the throne, and move forward. But Caracalla didn't move forward. He looked backward at something far more dangerous than a living enemy. Caracalla faced a problem. As long as people remembered Geta, they remembered something else too. That Rome had another ruler. It meant another path and another version of legitimacy. Memory made Caracalla's power look fragile. So he didn't just punish Geta, he targeted remembrance itself. The Roman Senate declared Damnatio Memoriae, ordered to be forgotten. This wasn't symbolic, it was systematic. Across the empire, Geta's name was hacked out of inscriptions. It was violently carved away. His face was chiseled off statues and reliefs, sometimes leaving smooth blanks, other times grotesque scars. Coins bearing his image were recalled, defaced, or melted down. Official records were altered, public lists rewritten, documents edited as if he had never ruled at all. This wasn't history forgotten by accident. This was history rewritten with tools: stone, metal, ink, and silence. This wasn't about shame, it was about control. If Geta never existed, then Caracalla was never a murderer. If there was no co-emperor, then there was no betrayal. Memory stood in the way of that story, so it had to go. And Rome complied. Officials obeyed, sculptors recarved, scribes rewrote, because survival depended on forgetting the right name. After Geta's death, a purge followed. Ancient sources claim thousands were executed, supporters, officials, servants. The numbers may be exaggerated, Roman historians often were, but the terror wasn't. The Senate fell silent. Debate vanished. Fear replaced discussion. And when memory becomes dangerous, people learn to erase themselves. Caracalla wanted a clean narrative, but he failed. Because erasure leaves traces, and today, historians can still see the damage. Statues where one face is missing, inscriptions that suddenly make no sense, coins altered too crudely to hide what they once showed. These gaps are evidence. They are the fingerprints of power trying and failing to control the past. Ironically, Damnatio Memoriae made Geta more visible to us. We know him because someone tried so hard to make him disappear. This wasn't just a Roman instinct. Across history, rulers have tried to do the same thing. Photographs altered, names removed from textbooks, records sealed or destroyed. The methods change, but the logic doesn't. If people remember alternatives, power looks weaker, so memory becomes the enemy. Caracalla ruled the empire. Geta was erased from official history, but the attempt to erase him revealed something unmistakable. Power that fears memory is power that knows it isn't secure. History isn't just what happens, it's what survives the attempts to destroy it. And every time a ruler decides that memory itself is a threat, they confess the same thing. They are afraid of what people might remember.